cousin.
Hello, everybody. And welcome to our Week 17 NFL picks. This is the last week of the regular season, and let's hope that we can all do well this week because we know a few people that have a chance to win some money. And we'd like to enjoy ourselves. We will also come back with a playoff edition of the award-winning picks next week when we know who are in the wild card games. All right, how you doing today, Mr.
I'm doing
Reeves?
good. How you doing? I just
Good,
had a
thanks.
delicious meal.
Excellent,
Christmas
yeah.
Day.
This is Christmas edition too.
It's
Okay.
fun being at the whole
All
house with
right.
the family.
Excellent. We had
Very
a
good.
joyous occasion here.
Absolutely.
All right, the first game, the Pats are playing Buffalo in minus 4.5, 3.5 points. What do you think?
I have to like the Patriots because the spread actually was 10.5 because of the Denver losing on Monday night. It's gone down to 3.5.
We'll get to that in a minute.
I think I'd have to take the Patriots at home. I don't think they'll just show up. I think they'll try to win the game.
As bad as New England played last week, I think they'll show up and play better this week. Brady will probably play into the third quarter. Who's playing quarterback for the Buffalo? Joe Ferguson?
Jackie Kemp.
Joe Ferguson played in the 1980s, so
I'm gonna go Jackie Kemp.
Jack Kemp. You're going a little further back than me. 27-17 New England, I think. All right, on to my game. Denver Broncos, last week, I'm going to give a little talk about this. Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, one of his worst plays in history. Down by 2, he went to look out, and he floated a Rex Grossman type interception. That was atrocious, puke-worthy, awful, etc. What do you think about that pick? How good was it?
It was pretty ugly.
It was bad.
Pretty ugly. That was kind of an ugly game.
Yeah,
All the way around.
Not that Denver's defense struggled, but those return yards were really bad. But on to this week, Denver's favored by 14.5 against Oakland. I know people think, ooh, that's too many points. Let's do the famous game. How many points is Oakland going to score? I think they only score 14. And Denver get their offense back together at
31.
31-34. And also, Oakland on the road the last few weeks, they
Painful.
lost 31-13 to Kansas City with check down Smith, who can't score. And against the St. Louis Rams, who have an average quarterback and a good defense, 52-0. So basically, and hence the end of the season, teams tend to quit on the road that aren't very good. And Oakland's a bad team, even though they've had a couple of good wins, including last week over Kyle Orton. Nice game, Kyle, you bum. Okay. You agree on that one?
I definitely agree with that.
All right. Now an important game this week. Pittsburgh's favored by 3.5 over the Bengals on Sunday Night Football. All right. What do you think?
What do I think? I think I have to like Pittsburgh playing at home. Cincinnati's just won a big game on the at home against Denver, but I still have to like Pittsburgh to win this game. It's a big game for them as well as a big game for Cincinnati, but I still like Pittsburgh. I think like their running game, like their quarterback throwing the ball.
For this game, I have 2 words on why I won't trust the Bengals. Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is not the reason why Denver lost to Cincinnati. They lost because they had a good running game, and they also had this guy, Dunlop, who was rushing the passer, and good returns. Dalton did very little against the Broncos. Roethlisberger's had an MVP-type season. He has over 30 touchdowns, less than 10 picks. Best receiver in football, Antonio Brown. I just like them at better team at home, period. Since he does have a good defense, I respect 28-21 Steelers. All right, on to the next game. Detroit minus 7.5 at Green Bay. Winner wins the division title. Green Bay looked like crap last week, but they still beat Tampa Bay 20-3. So what do you think?
In this particular game, I really haven't liked Detroit all year long. I think they've struggled, although they have played better since the Thanksgiving Day. They played good against Chicago. They played pretty good since then. However, in this game, Green Bay playing at home, big game for them, although it was a big game a couple of weeks ago when they lost to Buffalo. I like Green Bay in this game to cover.
By 8 points.
Yeah, exactly.
We will respectfully disagree, and the reason why is 2 reasons. Detroit's played well this year, 11 wins. Sometimes they win ugly. They held Rodgers to 7 points earlier this season. I thought Eric Kramer was playing for Detroit. No? Okay. Lynn Dickey for the Packers. You're going back too far. Come on. Even though mine to people probably say, what is he talking about? That guy's, that Rigo's a goober. But anyways, back to the game. Detroit 7.5. Rodgers has a calf injury. That's not a good thing.
Right, and he's
I don't like
battling
that.
the flu too.
He got sick this week, and Detroit's a good defense. I think the Packers will ultimately win and win the division, and Detroit will be a wild card. But I think it's going to be really close. I'm going to pick 28-24 Green Bay, so plus 7.5 covers. Next game is Carolina getting 3.5 points at Matty Choke Ice's Falcons.
Matty Choke.
So, but I got to give him credit for what he did last week. He did well.
I agree.
I still don't like him, but he did well. All right, what's your pick on this game?
I think I like Atlanta in this game at home against Carolina. They've been kind of, although both teams have been kind of iffy all week, but I still like the way Atlanta won last week. I like them at home to win the game because they're throwing the ball and they're supposed to have Jones back.
Julio Jones had an outstanding season with his receiving yards. Carolina's offense is very weak. They barely beat sucky Cleveland 17-13 last week with Manziel and Jed Hoyer.
They was
Obviously,
in the division last year too, didn't they?
Carolina was 12-4
Yeah,
last year.
right,
It
yeah.
fell apart.
Yeah.
Well, remember, all the receivers are gone. LaFell went to the Patriots, and Steve Smith went to the Ravens. A mistake, in my opinion. You can't let everybody go.
Right.
Nice job, general manager of Carolina. Maybe it's a Carolina thing because the Hurricanes suck too. But anyways, the Panthers are a little better. I like Matty Ice as much as it pains me to say because he's burned me so many times this week. Matty Ice, Choke Ice, is going to play well. Playing at home. Carolina is just can't score. 30-24, Matty Ice and the Falcons. I like Julio Jones. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Next game, really good game here. San Diego Chargers are getting 2.5 points at Kansas City with Phillip Rivers, who's got more guts than anybody. He's the guttiest quarterback in the NFL. He takes a lot. The guy can move. You got to give him his credit. What do you think of this game?
Oh, well, I'll tell you, the way they came back last week against Frisco after being behind, 35-21, coming back and winning that game?
21-0.
Well, but
They came all the way back. We're talking about the end of the game.
Right, in the fourth quarter when they were losing, game over, and then the next day, 38-35? 38-35?
38-35 in
I
overtime.
was shocked that they won the game. I think they'd have to stick with San Diego where they got some good momentum going for them right now.
All right. I like the Chargers. I know Dan Fouts isn't playing quarterback against Bill Kenny of Kansas City, but I like Rivers. He's got guts. Sorry, Denver fans. Like I told you before, when I pick these pools, I'll tell you what I think's going to happen. Try to win money. Put your allegiances out the window. If you don't like someone, that's your preference. For me, none of that crap matters to me. I pick what's going to happen. And you know what? Casey, a bunch of bums to me. 12 points last week against Pittsburgh. Alex check down Chicken Arm Smith. No touchdowns to receivers in 15 games. Sorry, that doesn't cut it for me. Jamal Charles is awesome, but if all San Diego has to stop is Jamal Charles, they win this game. I just think they're playing better, and I trust them better. San Diego could be a dangerous team. They always seem to do this. Rivers has been good over the years in December. San Diego 24-20. Alex check down Smith, and they still won't have a touchdown to a wide receiver. So they'll go the whole year. That is sad. Chicken arm check down. Even though Manning's arm looks like a chicken arm, he still threw to receivers last week. Seattle is favored by 12.5 against the Rams. For home field advantage and winning the division, the Seahawks are in great shape. They're 11-4. They've been on fire. They look like the best team in football right now, I think. Pats fans, sorry, close second, but Seattle is better right now. Period. End of discussion. What do you think?
I like St. Louis in this game, division game. They play tough. I think that Seattle win the game, but I think the Rams will hang in there. I think they'll cover.
Okay. I agree with you on that one because I think the Rams play tough every week. Seattle's played fantastic. Like I said earlier, defense is better than anyone's. The Legion of Boom. Richard Sherman's the best cornerback in football. Period. End of discussion. Nobody's better. Sorry, Revis. It's not you. Patriot fans, it's not you. It's Sherman. Best. Revis is awesome too, but he's on another league right now. But St. Louis plays tough every week. They don't quit. They hang in there. Fish is a very good coach, I think. If I were the Titans, I never would have got rid of him. Look at the train wreck that team is now. I like the Rams to cover, but Seattle to win. Seattle 24-14, plus 12.5 covers. All right, next game. Arizona, plus 5.5 at San Francisco. They win, Seattle loses, they win the division. So what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you, what are they? Third, fourth string quarterback? That's scary. I mean, they're going to get in the playoffs anyway because they're already clinched at least a wild
11
card.
wins, yes.
I think I'd have to take in this game. I think I'd have to take the 49ers.
So minus 5.5.
Minus 5.5, exactly.
Jim Hart is not coming out of retirement for the
Right.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
Neil Lomax,
Right.
Dave Craig, whoever you name, none of them are coming back. I feel bad for the team because I think Arians should win Coach of the Year. He's the best this year. He's done an awesome job. With a team people, expected to have 7 wins tops. I like Arizona to cover because I think they have a good defense. San Francisco with Colin Bounce Kaepernick sucks right now. They look like they've quit. They've packed it in. Harbaugh's going to be gone. He's going to go to another team next year, which is sad. They think he's a fantastic coach, and they've given up on him. Stupid 49ers owner and GM. San Francisco wins 20 to 17. Arizona covers. San Francisco wins the game. Close game. I don't like the way they look though. Okay, next game. Indianapolis is favored by 6.5 at Tennessee. And Indianapolis looked like garbage last week. Dallas just scored another touchdown. Tony Bryant just scored. See right there, touchdown. Okay, that's what it felt like in that game. Good credit to my best friend who's a Cowboys fan. They clinched the division. They deserve it. So what do you think about this game, though? The Colts 10-5 against the train wreck Tennessee
I
Titans
think
team.
the Colts are finally going to show up and play a decent game because they've been struggling mightily lately. But I think Tennessee is ugly. I think I'd have to take Andrew Luck and his team.
I agree with you. I think the Colts need to play for something because you don't want to go into the playoffs looking like garbage. They were horrible last week. They could have played. Matt Hasselbeck could have started that game and played better than Luck looked. Seriously, Hasselbeck actually got a touchdown as a 37-year-old guy who's been around forever. But I like Indy to win, get some confidence back. Tennessee's a train wreck. They look awful. 2-13. They'll be 2-14. 31-13. All right. Let's pick one more game here. I'm going to ask you, what do you think between Minnesota's favored by 6.5 against Colonoscopy Cutler? Colonoscopy's back this week because Jimmy Clausen got hurt on the Bears, so they have to go back to Cutler. So what's your opinion of that game?
Well, I'll tell you what. Minnesota and Arizona are two of the best teams as far as covering all year long. They're both 10-5 against the spread. I think I'm going to stick with Minnesota one more week because they've been awesome beating the spread. I'm going to stick with them playing at home.
I'm going to disagree because I think Minnesota's not a good enough team to be favored by 6.5. I wish Jim McMahon was playing as opposed to Cutler, but Colonoscopy, I'm going to have my faith in him. I'm probably going to regret it later on. But 6.5 against a talented Bears offense is a lot of points. For a Minnesota team that, even though they cover, they're still 6-9. Minnesota 20, Chicago 17. All right, let's see. Let's pick one more game because the season's going to be over. Another game that means something. Baltimore's favored by 8.5 points against the Cleveland Manziels. Wait, Manziel's hurt. Who's playing? Bernie Kosar or Brian Sipe? Brian Sipe's coming back.
Didn't they have Mike Phipps too?
Oh, that was guy's a bum. There you go, Mike
Okay.
Phipps.
I
Who
did-
the hell is Mike? Paul McDonald in the early 80s.
I think I'd have
lefty.
to take Baltimore in this game against Cleveland, the way Cleveland's offensively struggling. And Baltimore was pathetic last week. Such a big game, and they didn't show up.
They
But
didn't show up.
I think they'll show up this week
Yeah.
because it's a big game for them. And I hope that Kansas City shows up against San Diego because that's the big game for them.
Absolutely. I don't even know who's playing for Cleveland. Some rookie that I saw. Who's that guy? It's just some guy Shaw. Brad Shaw used to be a defenseman for the Whalers. I don't know. Whoever it is, I don't like his chances going against Baltimore on the road. Baltimore has to win. Flacco will play better. Torrey Smith, etc. Baltimore 30, Cleveland 7. Because the Browns look like a train wreck still. It's sad because they were 7-4, and the most likely going to finish 7-9. All right, there you have it. Week 17. Hopefully, we will be back next week with the wild card round. We look forward to it. For Richard Reegs, Johnny Reegs, thank you so much.